Imagine a time when pickup trucks were raw, rugged machines built for work, not luxury, when steel and grit defined the road. Let's step back to an era when trucks were purpose-built tools, not rolling living rooms. The 1970s and 80s gave us pickups from Chevrolet, Ford, and Dodge that prioritized durability, simplicity, and raw power over touchscreen infotainment and leather upholstery. These decades marked a golden age for American truck makers, and the Big Three were constantly battling it out to define what a truck should be. Their designs leaned on straightforward engineering, ladder frames, solid rear axles, and engines that could haul without complaint. Unlike modern trucks, which often chase fuel efficiency or car-like comfort, these classics embraced a no-nonsense ethos. Get the job done, period. Repairing them didn't require a computer science degree either, just a wrench, a socket set, and some know-how. To prove it, we'll explore each brand's standout models, their powertrains and chassis details, then see how they stack up against today's softened successors. First up, Chevrolet. The CK series dominated the scene through these decades, evolving from the second-generation action line of the late 1960s into the third-generation rounded line starting in 1973. The CK wasn't just a truck, it was a statement of utility. The third gen, running from 1973 to 1991, became iconic for its squared-off fenders and muscular stance. Chevrolet offered a range of engines, from the reliable 250 cubic inch inline-six to the beastly 454 cubic inch big block V8. That 454 pumped out up to 230 horsepower and 385 pound-feet of torque in models like the 3500 series heavy-duty trucks, and was a towing titan. Transmission options included the stout turbo Hydra-Matic 400 automatic or a 4-speed manual, both built to handle heavy loads. The chassis was a full ladder frame, with an independent front suspension on two-wheel drive models, a rarity then, and a solid leaf spring rear axle that could take a beating. Chevrolet also introduced the four-door crew cab in this era, a practical innovation Dodge had pioneered, but Chevy perfected for families and work crews. Compared to today's Silverado, with its complex electronics and aluminum body, the CK's steel construction and mechanical simplicity made it a tank you could fix in your driveway. Next, Ford. The F-Series, already a legend by the 1970s, hit its stride with the sixth generation from 1973 to 1979 and the seventh generation from 1980 to 1986. The F-150, introduced in 1975, became the backbone of Ford's lineup, but the F-250 Highboy and its successors stole the show for serious truck fans. The sixth-gen F-Series offered engines like the 300 cubic inch inline-six, a workhorse with 130 horsepower, and the 460 cubic inch V8, delivering 225 horsepower and gobs of torque. By the seventh gen, nicknamed Bullnose for its grille, Ford refined the lineup with a 351 cubic inch V8 and later a 6.9-liter International Harvester diesel pushing 170 horsepower. Transmissions range from 3-speed manuals to the C6 automatic, all paired to a twin I-beam front suspension, unique to Ford, and a solid rear axle on a ladder frame. The Highboy's high ground clearance and swap-friendly suspension made it a favorite for off-roaders, something modern F-150s with their low-slung, efficiency-focused designs can't match. Ford's trucks were built to last, with steel bodies that were much cheaper to fix than today's aluminum counterparts, and their straightforward mechanics meant fewer breakdowns you couldn't fix yourself. Then there's Dodge. The D-Series ran from 1961 to the 1980s, giving way to the first-generation Ram in 1981. The D-Series, especially the third generation from 1972 to 1980, and the early Ram trucks embodied Chrysler's underdog spirit. The 1978 to 1979 Dodge D150 Lil Red Express stood out. A factory hot rod with a 360 cubic inch V8 Police Interceptor engine, churning out 225 horsepower. Vertical exhaust stacks and a step-side bed gave it flair, but it was the power that made it the fastest production truck from 0 to 100 miles per hour in its day, according to Car and Driver. The D series and early Rams leaned on a ladder frame with an independent front suspension, ahead of Chevy and Ford in some ways, and a live rear axle. Engine options included the 318 and 360 V8s, with the slant 6 225 cubic inch base motor for lighter duty. By 1989, the Ram offered the Cummins 5.9-liter inline-six diesel, a game-changer with 160 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque, outmuscling most rivals. Transmissions like the Torque Flight 727 automatic were bulletproof, a trait modern Rams with their 8-speed autos can't claim under heavy abuse. Dodge's galvanized steel fought corrosion better than today's trucks, and their Adult Toys campaign, think Warlock and Macho Power Wagon, proved trucks could be fun without losing grit. So why were these trucks superior? Start with durability. Steel bodies and frames took punishment that modern aluminum panels dent under. Rust was a slower enemy back then, especially with Dodge's galvanized steel and Ford's robust coatings, while today's trucks lean on lighter materials that sacrifice toughness. Powertrains were built for torque over efficiency. Big blocks and diesels like the Cummins didn't sip fuel, but they hauled mountains without breaking a sweat. Modern trucks chase MPG with turbocharged V6s and hybrid systems, often at the cost of long-term reliability under strain. Chassis designs stuck to proven ladder frames and live axles, offering stability and repairability that today's independent suspensions and complex electronics undermine. Need to tow a trailer? The CK's 454 or Rams Cummins laughed at loads that make a modern EcoBoost hesitate. And maintenance? No laptops required, just basic tools in a weekend. Today's trucks, packed with sensors and software, turn a simple fix into a dealership nightmare. Let's break it down by brand. Chevrolet's CK thrived on versatility. The rounded lines crew cab and engine range, from inline 6 to the 454 big block, covered every job, from farm work to drag strips. Production soared, with millions built, and its 18-year run proved its staying power. Ford's F-Series brought innovation and brute force. The twin I-beam setup and Highboy's off-road chops, paired with V8s like the 460, made it a farmer's or adventurer's dream. Sales climbed steadily, overtaking Chevy by 1980 to become America's bestseller, a title it still holds. Dodge played the wild card. The D-Series and early Rams, especially the Lil Red Express and Cummins-powered models, offered raw power and personality. Sales lagged behind, rarely cracking 100,000 units annually until the 1990s. But their cult status endures, and the Cummins diesel set a benchmark modern trucks still chase. Against today's pickups, these classics win on grit. Modern trucks like the 2025 F-150 or Silverado EV boast horsepower, sometimes 500+ in top trims, but lean on turbos and batteries that falter under sustained abuse. Fuel economy matters now, but the old V8s and diesels delivered torque without compromise. Luxury cabs and adaptive cruise control are nice, but they bloat prices and complexity. $70,000 for a loaded 2025 Ram versus $15,000 adjusted for a 1980s model. Back then, trucks were affordable tools, not status symbols. And their designs? Boxy, bold lines beat today's aerodynamic blobs every time. Time to crown a winner. If we're comparing sales alone, Ford's F-Series takes the title from Chevy and Dodge. By 1980, it snatched the sales crown with over 500,000 units annually, handily defeating Chevy's CK at around 400,000 units and dwarfing Dodge's D-Series Ram at under 100,000. The F-150's 460 V8 in chassis durability sealed the deal, power and toughness in spades. But don't sleep on Chevy's CK. Its longevity and versatility are legendary, and Dodge's Ram brought diesel muscle that reshaped the game. All three defined an era when trucks were trucks, and each has a loyal following for good reason. In other words, pick your favorite. There's no wrong choice here. Thanks for watching. If you love these classic trucks, drop a comment with your favorite model, give a like, and subscribe for more videos about the machines that built the road. See you next time.